Hey, Mr. Clash here, and today we're going to have another What's the Best Army for the Base video, and this one's a rather interesting one because in this particular war I was scrolling through the bases and I already called my first base, and I thought to myself immediately when I saw this one, my immediate thought was old school Lalo, not Gobo Lalo, just a shattered Laloon. That is 2 golems, 3 lava hounds, 12 to 14 balloons, a jump spell. Now I'll just show you what my immediate thought was. I'd given this like the old 30-second sort of thought was to put a golem here and here, wall breakers here, wizard here, couple wizzies here, archer queen here, king here, jump spell here. That's it. And that's old school Lalo. Once that happens, all this is cleared. The small kill squad and the queen and the king run in. This jump spell, they take out that air defense, take out that air defense, wizard goes down, take out this archer tower, the sweeper goes down, and hopefully you can at least possibly even get this expo. If you're lucky, you can get the expo. Now you've got 2 air defenses left and 3 lava hounds for it. So you'd send 1 lava hound in across this face of these weapons. You'd send another lava hound in this way. So you've got your loons coming in here and here. You probably need to send some loons on this one. Loons. And you can get some loons in on this too. So you're kind of looking at each of them would be 2 loons, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 if you needed this one, or you might just leave the mortar alone. So you've at least got 10 loons invested in this part, and they'll all path this way, eventually getting to this air defense. Now you do have 3, and you might need to send a 3rd one on the air defense because when you check the range, it's very, very close. Depending on the angle, if the hound sits too low, it depends on what the game says is close, whether or not this bottom air defense will actually fire on it. So that was my original thought. Coming in with the old school Lalo in this way, and then if you've got a couple loons left over, if you didn't need it, the last lava hound could come in onto this, and you got your couple loons here. If you put them on this side, then they'll path to the archer, and you wanted to try and do air targeting weapons first. And the reason you're going to put loons on this mortar is if the mortar goes down, then any balloons here will path onto the air defense. And you've got some spells, so you know Teslas might be popping around here or something like that. So you don't know. You'd have like some haste spells, some rage. Maybe you bring a couple rage. Maybe you just bring 1 rage and 3 haste, that kind of thing. Or you bring 3 haste and a heal. I didn't really give it too much thought. I'm just saying that was my initial thought. I looked at it 30-second scout and just went, that is the best army for the base. Now, just having a bit of an interest sort of a thing, we did see this all started a little while back, and that was putting the double bombs between an air defense and an expo. But you've got this area here where you can have double bombs, possibly for hogs, this area as well. You've got any number of threats in this place that could take out hogs. There could be bombs here for hogs. There could be a bomb here. So you can see there's lots of places where hogs can get wiped out in this sort of attack, in this base, rather. And you'd be needing, and still trying to take out the queen and this CC, the best place to come in. Possibly you want to try and wipe these things out. If you come in from this way, you're dealing with the king, you might not get there. If you try to get golems too far over that way, they'll path onto that mortar. Doesn't give you as good an entrance into the base as you might like. So you'd kind of still come in from this direction, even with a hog attack. You'd get this out. It would nullify this bomb threat a little bit, but you've still got to be healing through all of this around here. And it just, to me, like I said, it immediately screamed old school Lalo. That's what my immediate assumption was on the attack. Let's actually see. And afterwards, I logged out and I'd seen that this attack had gone on the same time as my first one. Then I watched this one and I commented when I first saw the base, my immediate thought was old school Lalo. no bowlers, because bowlers would go wandering. And 3 or 4 other people, and not the attacker, thought the exact same things. We said, that's what I was planning, that's what I was planning. So we're all planning to do an old school Lalo on this base, and we hadn't even talked about it. So I just thought that was interesting, that certain bases have that look that just scream to you, this is the attack that will work. Now have a look here. 2 golems, 14 loons. So like I said, it's 12 to 14 loons. It's really going to depend how many whizzies you want to bring in, or maybe some other cleanup troops that you might need. 6 haste in this case, and 1 heal. So sometimes you could bring in a couple of rages and 2 haste. So you've got a heal. In this case, there's a heal. So if you're bringing in a jump spell, if you scrap the heal for a jump spell, then you might be bringing in 2 rages and 2 haste, that kind of thing. It was all mix and match. But in this case, 6 haste. So let's actually have a look how that all went down. So do keep this in mind as a legit viable strategy. It's not dead. You don't need to have bowlers all the time. And I actually think it's a good, wise thing if you can learn to do the attacks that do not require bowlers. Yes, a lot of people, when I see a lot of people just coming in with go boho, they're bringing bowlers on hog attacks without first understanding that that's really only something that should be done if you can justify that you only need 2 heals for the hogs. Otherwise, you leave yourself a heal short. So you can see the first air defense has gone down. Second air defense is about to go down now. Once the king's gotten through the wall, there your double bomb's gone off. So there was a good read on that base in terms of a double bomb being in that location. Now Queen has had to activate the special ability. So here comes the first Lava Hound going across the face of the weapon. Second Lava Hound, just about pinpoint perfect. Again, you've got the 2 loons onto the air targeting weapons. The wizard will go down nicely. You've got the haste spell on. Quickly get that down, get over to the expo and the air defense as quick as you can. And now you've got those balloons that tried to target the air targeting weapon, which was the archer you saw, but if they just were placed just a fraction south of that. Now still, I would have thought that that archer tower was closer to that double cannon instead of the other cannon. So it's something we'll keep an eye on when we watch the replay again. Also interesting of that was that 1 wizard blast not only exploded the Lava Hound, but killed the pups. So it would appear that the wizard, when the wizard does its little blast, his little wizard fire actually hangs around for a little bit. So it's not so just single as, say, an archer arrow. Archer arrow hits and boom, that's it. Damage is done. Whereas the wizard fire, it burst the Lava Hound, and it kind of hung around still doing damage, which is why it took out the pups. Unless there was something else in that I didn't see that maybe exploded the pup and a second later the wizard blast hit them. That's something that we'll definitely have a look at when we watch the replay. So we've just got a little bit of cleanup going on now, so we'll just fast forward that so you can see. Now, again, what we'll do on the replay, have a close look at the double cannon loon drop. I'll probably pause it there. So that we can make sure that it is what it is. So again, old school Lalo, make up this army composition. If you can get access to 2 air defense, now you can replace the heal with a jump or something like that, but if you don't need to, then you don't have to. But for an old school Lalo, you're always bringing in, the rule of thumb was bringing in 1 more Lava Hound than you had air defenses left. So you've got 2 air defenses left. That means 3 Lava Hound. Of course, with the advent of the bowler, then you're removing 1 Lava Hound in place of a CC bowler, and therefore hoping to take out even more stuff, but it's a slightly different spell composition. So you can see here 2 air defenses has gone down. So more like old school Lalo style, 2 air defenses have gone down. That leaves 3 Lava Hounds for the remaining 2 air defenses. So first Lava Hound's gone in with the balloons immediately follow. 3 balloons on that arch tower, and then a single balloon, it looks like, on the wizard tower. Now let's just have a pause on this bottom one here. I'll just stop that right there because I just want to draw my lines. Now, you know, you've seen my balloon pathing video. If you haven't seen it, I'll put it up there right now, just at the top of the screen. where I talk about how to predict the pathing of balloons or where you need to drop something. So that line's not totally 100%, but it's good enough. Okay. So drawing that perpendicular line, you can see if you drop a balloon anywhere in here, then it's going to path to this double cannon. Now the balloon should sit here. It should sit here, which means when you draw a line between the archer and this other cannon, you come out midway. You can see really, I mean, you could say I should come out that. Really, if the balloon's sitting here, the next closest thing should be this arch tower. It should be. Now, I'll clear that off and let's just continue and have a look to see what actually happened with that. So as soon as that hound's coming in, boom, okay. Now have a look at the balloon. We can draw that line again just quickly and you'll see what's happened there. So my line's not very good, but that's okay. And coming out perpendicular, you can see it was just short. The shadow's on the wrong side of the line, so it was always going to go to there. But let's have a look at where it stops, and then we can just double check that again as we come through where the little balloon shadows stop on the cannon. Stop there. Okay, so what it looks like is the balloon shadows are right here. That's what it looks like. So when you draw that line from the middle of the weapon to the middle of the other weapon, which is here, you come perpendicular, which should really be about here. Oh, look, it's so very close. Really, even looking at it now, you can see the balloons are on that left-hand side of the line. They're on the left-hand side of the double cannon. Looking at it, they should have pathed to the archer tower. They should have pathed over. So we'll just have a look. Boom, there they go. And no, they should not really have pathed over there. They should have gone to the archer tower. Looking at it, trying to look at where the cannon was in relation to the gold storage or the elixir storage that was there. It was right in front of it, so they should have pathed over either way. And I didn't really see anything. Look, I might have been wrong. We might have to look at it again, but I didn't really see anything else that was shooting at the lava hound that was above the wizard that had popped. So that had popped them. And of course, it was great that the heal spell was left over because, and like I said, this was a fresh hit, so nothing was unknown about the base. So there you go. Do make up this army composition. You could see 14 balloons. It's a very light kill squad in this attack. I know that some people were interested they were asking questions about a base, and I said, this is how you attack this base. And they said, what, only 6 wizards? There's no way you can beat that base with 6 wizards. So I just gave them the army composition and I told them how to attack it. And they said, you can't do it. So I showed them the video of, yes, you can do it. It wasn't this base, it was a different base. But you can see very light on the wizards. If you've got the good plan, the wizards are just creating the funnel and helping your king and archer queen get in. So that is it. Make up this troop combo. Do give it a try, see if it's still viable. And I do suggest everyone do learn attacks that do not have bowlers, because if bowlers get nerfed at Town Hall 9 and you don't know how to do anything else, you're kind of screwed. So the question of the day is, why did the athlete who always came second in their running races, why did the athlete who always came second give up marathon running? Why did they give up marathon running? Because they couldn't stand the agony of defeat. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you do train up this. If you haven't seen this old school Lalo attack before, do make it up and definitely do practice it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.